Okay, so in this one here, we're number 13. We're still doing using the compound interest formula to compute the total amount accumulated and the interest earned. So we're starting off in number 13 with $8,000. So I want to know the final amount. If my initial amount was $8,000, then 1 plus, the rate is 4%, so 0.04. And we're compounding daily, so that's 365 times a year. And again, the n is 365. And we're compounding for 2 years. So they're saying use the n is 360, which is a little odd. Just noticed that in the book. But okay, 365 days in a year, I guess 360 is close enough. So that's what they'd like us to use. We'll use it. So now just walking through this, we're just going to do it step at a time. I'm going to do this first. So if I do 0.04 divided by 360, and then I add 1 to that, I get 1.0001111. Keep a bunch of decimals until you're ready to give a final answer. So I'm just going to keep a bunch. 360 times 2 is 720. So now I'm going to do this raised to that power. So on your calculator, you're going to be looking for a caret or a y to the x or an x to the y button. So this to the 720 is 1.083281387. And now if you just multiply those two together, you get 8666.25. I'm just going to check to make sure that's matching. And it is. Looks like they rounded. They rounded to 26 here. Maybe they kept more decimal places than I did there. Or maybe I kept more than they did. But 2526. Close enough. So our final interest, that's our final amount. Our interest must have been the final amount minus that initial amount. So it looks like we made $666.25 in interest. And so that's that. So the final amount's that. So the interest earned was that. Let's see. If I do number 17, I'll stop it and do another one. Okay, so for number 17, the directions are to use the present value formula to determine the amount invested now or the present value needed. So for 17, they're telling you that the desired final amount is $100,000 after 4 years with so much interest. So we don't know the present amount, we know the final amount. So they want us to use this formula here. Same thing, just rearranged, but I'll use this one. So the present amount is the final amount we want, that $100,000 divided by 1 plus the rate is 0.04, 4%, and we're compounding quarterly, so 4 times a year. And so n is 4, and the time we need it in is again 4 years. So I'm just going to walk through slow again, and I'll do this part first, 0.04 divided by 4, and then I'll add 1, so I'll get the top staying the same, 100,000 divided by 1.01, 4 times 4 is 16. So I'll do the bottom first, 1.01 raised to the 16th power, using 1.172578645. And then I'm just going to do 100 1,000 divided by that number, I get 85282.1, I'll round it to 3. And so let me just check, make sure I'm good. 17. Yep, it's looking good. And so again, if you want the, oh, I think that's all you need. So that's the amount you have to start with. You have to start with 85,000, that number, if you want to make 100,000 in 4 years at that rate. So there's that. Okay. Okay, so for number 21, oops. So for number 21, we have a class trip, and they invest $1,500 from fundraisers in a 30-month CD, blah, blah, blah. Determine the amount the class will receive when it cashes in the CD after 30 months. So they want to know the final amount they'll have if they invest a certain amount. So we're using this formula. So the final amount they'll have is the amount they start with, the 1,500, times 1 plus the rate is 3.9%, so 0.039. Always move that decimal 2 spots. Compounded monthly, so 12 times per year. Again, n is 12, and they want to know after 30 months. 30 months isn't years, so 30 months is like 24 months would be 2 years, right? 24 months would be 2 years, and we have 6 months left over. So 30 months is going to be 2.5 years. So tricky, that's the part that they want up here, 2.5 years. So time, we generally do time in years, so we're going to do that. Tricky, tricky. So I'm just going to plug all this in, and again I'm going to do this part first. So I'm going to do the 0.039 divided by 12, hit equal, add the 1. So 1,500 times 1.00325, and then 12 times 2.5 is 30. Then I'll do 1.00325 raised to the 30. I get 1.10223717. Just multiply those two together, and you get 1653.36. I'll just check that. 21. Yep, we are matching. So that is the final amount they will have. Is that what they want? Yep, determine how much it will receive. So they'll get this much money at the end. Looks like they made a profit, or the interest they earned, if you care, 1653.36 minus their initial investment of $1,500 is $153.36. So not bad. That's